We open on a scene of stress and chaos. The king in his war chamber, pacing back and forth, his hands practically pulling out his graying hairs that peeks beneath his crown, as the commander of the city guard enters the ornate doors to give him an update on the current predicament.
Sire, we've prepared every city guard throughout the city. The Isla Numus Night Patrol has even joined the battalion. We've completely surrounded the College of Magic on all sides with a squadron of...
Has there been any word from the Thieves Guild? Their expertise and capabilities are imperative to winning this fight.
Unfortunately, we have not, Your Majesty. But I truly believe we can beat Bartuvius with the soldiers we have.
No, Berthold. You know I appreciate everything you do. All the training you've put into these men and what they do for the city. But we're talking about a highly powerful sorcerer holed up in a school filled with any and every magical item, relic, and potion ever seen in this city. Our army of local guards are no match for his power.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Your Majesty, we were able to entice a couple specialists from the Mercenaries Guild to join our ranks. They are stationed and ready to go.
I suppose that will certainly help. Perhaps we can try to contact the assassins.
Your Majesty, we can't wait any longer. Bartuvius is up to something in there, and is most certainly going to enact his plan to take over as soon as it's ready. If we do not act now, I fear we won't get another chance. How dare you break into the King's war chamber?
Wait, please. I come with an urgent message from the Thieves Guild.
Stay your hand, Berthold. This is the break we've been hoping for.
I don't trust him, Your Majesty, nor do I trust any of those thieving bastards from his organization.
Your Majesty, Silversong and Strongpaw have already infiltrated the college and have engaged in battle with Bartuvius. They said they have wounded the sorcerer.
This is incredible news. We must prepare.
Strongpaw is dead, Your Majesty.
What? The King of Thugs? Dead?
Silversong sent me a message, magically, asking me to bring aid.
Indeed. We cannot leave her to fight alone.
I say we leave her to fight to her death and finish Bartuvius off with the army, and get rid of 2 filthy stains on the city at once.
Now is not the time for your disdain and hostilities towards the Thieves Guild, Berthold. They have answered the city's call for aid in its time of need, and that makes them no different from you and I. Now, go prepare the assault. We must strike while he is injured.
Yes, Your Majesty.
As the king and his commander prepare their troops for their raid upon the College of Magic, we turn our attention to the walls within the very school of which they speak, where a pair of eyes stare down at their dead ally, lying still on the cold, hard floor below them. Hidden amongst the shadows in the rafters above, they observe as a cloaked figure hobbles limply towards the body as a strange blue swirl begins to release from the deceased and is absorbed into the sorcerer that siphons it.
So long, my friend. Your life of greed and want is no more. I pray you experience every fulfillment in whatever comes next. I fear that I may be joining you shortly.
Silversong has lived amongst the shadows in this city all her life, learning the ropes of being a thief. One of the key rules was to know when things had gotten too hot, and then when it was time to flee. This was most certainly one of those circumstances. But there was something that held her back from leaping toward the open balcony doors and soaring into the safety of the city, away from the evil magician that was haunting her. Perhaps it was a sense of fear. Fear knowing that if she fled now, and this villain wasn't dealt with, it was only a matter of time before his wickedness took hold of Isla Numus and crushed it between his crooked fingers. Or perhaps it was hope. Hope that the message she had sent her subordinate would reap reward and rescue would come that would aid her in defeating this dastardly evildoer. Whichever it was, she clung tightly to it and chose, instead, to simply wait amidst the darkened shadows she had relied on all her life. Moments later, An army surrounds the College of Magic, led by the Commander Berthold and the King of Isla Numus himself, as they prepare for their raid on the school and the sorcerer within.
Each and every one of you knows what is at stake today. Inside the walls of this facility is a man bent on the destruction of everything you've worked so hard to build. If he had his way, every home, every business, everything you hold precious would be taken from you or crumbled into dust in front of your very eyes. So today, we rise up. We rise up against our oppression and the terrorism of the bastard that enacted it on this city. We rise up for our homes, for our families, for everything we have built for ourselves. We rise for Isla Numus!
A fine speech indeed, Commander Berthold. Now let me offer my words in retort.
Bartuvius! I give you this final warning. Release the barricades on the door and surrender yourself, and we'll take you into custody.
Let me stop you right there, my good man. You and I know we're far too deep into all of this to possibly put a stop to it now. To the people of Isla Numus, you have known me as Professor Bartuvius, teacher of abjuration magic here at the Isla Numus College of Magic. But after today, you will know me by a new title. Lord Bartuvius, Guard of Isla Numus, and whatever lies beyond the grates. The beam of magical energy you see behind me is a part of a device my benefactor has assisted me in the creation of. You see, the fools at this school saw fit to take the complexities of magic in what is possible within its vast intricacies and hide it behind a mass of rules, regulations, and restrictions. But I never let those stop me. Oh no! I dove deep within the studies of these forbidden rituals and spells and discovered so many hidden secrets tucked away under the prohibitive label of dark magic. Well, I'll show them! This very magic they kept secret will be revealed to all in the form of my ascendance to godhood, where I will reign supreme over Isla Numus and whatever other realms are ripe for the taking. But never fear, my good citizens, for I am a benevolent deity. I would see fit that my home domain and its people succeed. After all, you were cheated by these unfair stipulations on the possibilities of magic as well. So while your foolish commander offers me the foolish options of surrender, one I assure you I will not be accepting, I offer you a choice in return. You see, although I can be a benevolent ruler, I am also a jealous one, and I don't take kindly to insubordination. So if you would like to be a part of what I am creating and want to thrive under my rule, do your rising god a favor and give this makeshift army of minimally trained guards and volunteers a bit of trouble, would you? Some of my students stand amongst you and will be more than happy to assist.
With the shadowy tendrils of his offer outstretched, the dark magician steps back into his lair to finish his forbidden ritual, leaving the citizens of Isla Numus to decide how they will proceed.
Commander, are we prepared for the assault?
We are. I am afraid I'm getting word from the North Squadron that a group of citizens have grouped together and are flanking our soldiers from behind, sire.
I see the sorcerer's words have already penetrated to those weak of mind. Nevertheless, now is the time to act.
Yes, your majesty. Bring out the battering rams!
Although the soldiers pound away at the doors of the school, it's important that we step back in time to what was going on inside the spire, as the sorcerer was giving his monologue. As the self-proclaimed soon-to-be god of Isla Numus gave light to his coming plan out on the open balcony, Silversong continued to observe from the rafters inside and saw a strange spectacle. A hooked rope softly latching itself to the railing of the balcony opposite the one the villain was speaking from. Seconds later, a group of 6 creatures crawled their way up the rope and into the room below her.
All right, team. You already know what to do. Zeke, Spitz, Barnabas, go disable the device. The rest of you, procure a hiding spot and prepare to ambush the sorcerer on my mark. Go.
As the team of strangers rushed to take their places, Silversong wondered if this might be her time to act. She stretched out her magic to the creature who seemed to be leading the charge, creating a message within his mind.
I am a friend amidst the shadows, and I am here to help.
The leader of this misfit crew paused for a moment and takes a quick glance around the room, attempting to find the source of this voice in his mind. Unable to spot Silversong amidst the shadows, he shuffles to his hiding spot and responds via the voice in his head.
My men are disabling his machine as we speak, but they will need time, and I fear our attack may not be enough. If you can capture his attention while my men spring their attack, it would be greatly appreciated.
I most certainly can.
As the sorcerer outside finalizes his offer to the citizens of Isla Numus and steps back into the room, he is startled by the sound from above him.
Who goes there? The shadows cannot protect you forever. Light shall illuminate all. There you are. Well, well, well. I had wondered if Strawnpaw had come alone. I had no idea the Thieves Guild would be willing to send 2 of their finest leaders to challenge me. You know, I had debated whether or not I would allow the guild to continue once I ascend to godhood, or if I would eliminate it and its members. It's obvious to me now that those involved are unwilling to be a part of the kingdom I am creating, and therefore, I will see to their destruction. Which, admittedly, will be much easier without you around.
Now!
You think you've defeated me? It's only a matter of time until my device has fully charged, and
The machine has been disabled, Chief.
What? You cannot.
Good work, team. Now let's get this guy tied up and present him to Commander Berthold.
But this cannot be. I was promised I would become a god.
And now, you will be nothing. This one is for Strawnpaw.
Wait! This isn't how it's done!
We in the Thieves Guild are used to taking on dirty jobs. We understand that. Sometimes, things need to be done outside of the confines of the law, and we're willing to take the bad rep from it, if it means that it gets done. The members of the Assassin's Guild feel the same way, trust me. I used to be a member there.
I can't let my men and I take credit for the direction this has taken. We don't want blood on our hands. And I don't imagine you're gonna stick around and accept credit yourself when the commander gets here.
Tell them what you want. I don't care. We in the Thieves Guild have always been villainized by this city. And taking down this wannabe dictator wouldn't change that. You know that as well as I.
Before you go,
Yes.
Thank you for taking the hit. If you hadn't created such a distraction, my men would have been at added risk. I may not agree with how you ended things, but you have our thanks for your support.
Well, thank you in return for the healing. My wings feel much better now. By the way, before I go, I must ask, who are you people? Mercenaries from the guild? Some sort of specialists from the King's Guard?
Just concerned citizens with a bit more training than your average guard.
Impressive.
As Silversong spreads her wings and flies from the room and into the skies above Isla Numus, the remaining individuals proceed to pick up the body of the would-be overlord of their beloved city. But something stops them in their tracks.
Chief, the machine, it's being hurled away.
Can someone stop it? Korea is casting something.
I'm trying, Chief. It's too strong.
Damn it! What was that?
Must have been whoever Bartuvius' benefactor was. They must have reclaimed the machine.
I'll get to the bottom of that. But for now, let's focus on the task at hand and get this one to Commander Berthold.
With that, our team of unlikely heroes hauled the deceased sorcerer outside and presented the villain to the king and his commander. The city was overjoyed that the villain had been stopped, and the terrifying tyrant was brought to an end. Many of the students who had sided with the professor, calling themselves the Illimitators, claiming they would eliminate the restrictions put on magic, were arrested for their association within the terrorist group. There were still those out there that believed the sorcerer to be correct in his path into the ways of dark magic, and the acts of terrorism put on those calling themselves the Illimitators would continue for years to come.
Ah, Chief Waters. I'm glad you could make it. Please, have a seat.
Your Majesty, I can't express just how much of an honor it is to meet you. I'm such a big fan.
Oh, fiddle faddle, enough with the pleasantries. You did my city a great favor, and therefore it is I who is honored that you are here.
I couldn't have done it without my team, Your Majesty.
Indeed, you and your team accomplished something I fear that our army of guards may not have been equipped to handle. No offense, Berthold. Well, in response to what you and your team were able to accomplish, I would like to offer you a proposition.
Your Majesty?
You see, I fear this is far from the first incident of its kind we can expect to experience in our fine city. In fact, we've already started receiving reports of Illimitator activities from here to the Gotham district. The Beast Gang's activity had been on the rise since their leader Grugan has passed, and the Thieves Guild has been up to increased shenanigans as they seek a replacement for Strongpaw. And some new group of steampunk psychopaths have organized a cult out in Wakandals. The City Guard is a phenomenal day-to-day police force, but they are not equipped for these new dangers taking root in our city. So that brings me to your summoning. I'm seeking to create a new, organized task force that specializes in handling these strange, new problems. And so I'm turning to you hoping that you can help me in the establishment, development, and training of this force.
Well, I must say, this is a huge honor, Your Majesty. I only fear that I may not be sufficiently equipped to lead it.
Nonsense, Waters. I had Berthold do a little looking into your background. Member of the Mercenaries Guild for 3 years before your job on the Wave Spear, which you served on for a decade before becoming the captain. Now you're back on land and you're a backup for the Misfit Munchers Blood Bowl team, and you fought for profit in the Colosseum 5 times.
Actually, 6 times now, Your Majesty.
6 times! Incredible! Did you hear that, Berthold? 6 times! What a lad! Needless to say, it's an incredible roster that showcases your skills both in leadership and in combat. You're the perfect candidate to get this organization off the ground.
Well, I'd be a fool to say no, Your Majesty. But I must ask, do you have a name for this secret police force you've already picked out?
Actually, Bertolt and I have been debating that, and we just can't quite come to an agreement. Since the organization won't have a specific singular purpose per se, and it will also need to be a fairly secret task force as well, I want to ensure that those in this room and those who exist within it are the only ones aware, for fear that there are some in power within this city who are part of the organizations that I mentioned previously. And the last thing I want is for them to get their grubby hands on it.
What about, Blankspace?
Hey now, I like that quite a lot. It has an air of mysteriousness about it. What do you think of Blankspace, Bertolt?
It's fine.
That's the best you'll get out of the Grouch, so it must be good. Blankspace. Yes, I quite like it.
Eight years later, and the secret police organization known as Blankspace has established strong roots in the city of Isla Numus, being an instrumental part of keeping evil at bay. Without their assistance, the King Fortunus would have continued his rampage through the city, causing even more death and destruction than he already had. The Central Stark District would have fallen to the massive rock, the origins of which are still unknown to this day. And multiple crime syndicates would have taken over the city time and time again, causing indescribable chaos. They proved time and time again that their allegations align with the kingdom they serve and continue to seek justice for anything that conflicts with those ideals. It is at this very moment, in fact, that the organization is seeking to infiltrate the group known as the Legionnaires, who have developed a strange cult fascinated with mechanical enhancements thanks to the ever-growing technological discoveries over the past years. Blankspace has picked two of their finest new recruits to take part in a mission to permeate the cult, find out about the organization's larger schemes, and take them down from the inside. The two agents, names you may be familiar with, Stephen McGriddle and Feather McGregor, more commonly known as McGriddle and Lil Sauce. These two agents begin their initiation within the Legionnaires' Gortham headquarters.
You don't think they're gonna make us chop off our arms and replace them with, like, mech arms, do you?
I sure hope not. I like my arm.
I can't imagine trying to sort of, like, make sauce with a middle arm. Plus, I bet the acidity from the sauce would, like, rust the heck out of it. Oh, no.
Quiet down, initiates. We're beginning the inauguration. Now, I assume you're all here because you've heard that it's possible to achieve eternal life. Well, it is possible. So far, we've been unable to successfully achieve the feat. Quiet! Although no one has currently achieved it, we believe the theory to be factual. It is possible to achieve eternal life by replacing our mortal coils with those mechanical in nature. Although we've had great success in replacing arms, legs, and other such ligaments in an attempt to achieve what we refer to as total replacement, we have yet to succeed in a complete transfer of the mind. Now, we do have promising research on this current hiccup, being led by my incredible and beloved mistress, Lady Maxwell. In fact, her leadership and groundwork are the spearhead to the entire concept this organization revolves around. She is... What do you want?
When will we get to meet Lady Maxwell?
You would do well to keep my mistress' name out of your mouth, you impudent little maggot. As if you would ever Be so lucky to even make a passing glance at my mistress. You are nothing to her, not even the dust amidst the ground on which she walks.
I'm so sorry. I won't ask again.
You would all do well to refrain from speaking the names of those leading our organization. We don't want to alert the authorities to what we're doing here. After all, if they go down, then none of us stands a chance at total replacement. Now, on to your task at hand. In order to be initiated into the Legionnaires, you will need to fulfill 3 separate trials. Trial 1. Percival Ironsides, owner of Steamway Carriages, and Lady Isabella Fairchild, owner of Noble Metal Steeds Transportation, have both developed some impressive technology which they squander away on their mechanized carriages. To make matters worse, they have chosen to lock this machinery behind copyrights and patents that keep us from accessing this valuable technology. You will need to break into their facility and steal the documents outlining their designs so that we can reproduce it for our needs. I will break you up into even teams, each of which will attempt to rob one of the 2 facilities. This increases the likelihood that at least one team succeeds and returns with the desired technology. Does anyone have a preference of which facility their team will take?
I'd like to lead a team of Noble Metal Steeds, if I may.
State your name, Initiate.
McGriddle, ma'am.
Your quick response and enthusiasm has been noted, McGriddle. Keep it up. As a reward, I will allow you to choose your team members who will accompany you on this mission.
If I may, I think that myself and my friend here should be enough manpower to handle the job. Smaller numbers equals better stealth after all.
Your desire for efficiency is commendable, but success of this mission is of high importance to the organization, and it is my professional opinion that 3 members will be better than 2. You.
Yes, ma'am.
I will partner you with these 2 to steal the blueprints from Noble Metal Steeds. See that you are a contributing member of their team.
Understood.
Wonderful. The rest of you will be assigned to Steamway Carriages. You have 48 hours to procure these documents and place them in my hands. How you get these documents is of little importance to me, but there will be consequences for those who fail. Once this task is complete, we will move on to the 2nd trial.
Yo, are we really gonna rob this place?
We've got this in the bag. My dad is friends with the owner, Isabella. I'll just tell her we're working on a police gig and we need her to make up some fake plans. Then we just break in and steal those. Piece of cake.
Perf.
I guess we'll be working together. The name's Brody.
Nice to meet you, Brody. I'm McGriddle, and this is my good friend, Sauce.
Is that really your name?
Well, McGriddle and I have been making and selling sauces since we were kids, so really more of a nickname. But I use it more than my real name now, so...
I see. I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to go over real names later, since we seem to be stuck with each other. But for now, do you 2 have any particular directions on the plan for this mission?
I've been working that out, actually. I live in the same district as Noble Metal Steeds, so I've got a pretty good idea of their facility and layout.
Ah, that's why you picked it.
Exactly. They have a pretty high fence around their building. I think that if we climb that, there's a portion that attaches to the garage, which means we can get to the rooftop. From there, we lower ourselves into the lobby, and then it's just a matter of getting into the office and finding the documents.
I've got some lockpicking experience. That should help us get in the office and a lockbox if it's in one. If it's a safe with a combination lock, it probably won't be much help.
I don't have much experience with those either. We might have to cross our fingers and hope that's not a concern. Unless you can crack a safe, Brody.
Never tried, but I'll give it a shot. What's the worst that can happen?
Well, I don't know how much you guys know about the vehicle industry, but Steamway and Noble Metal Steeds are in a pretty intense rivalry that's gotten a bit dirty over the last couple years. So I'm sure they both have their respective security measures installed.
Ugh. It just keeps getting tougher and tougher.
I'm pretty confident we'll be able to handle it.
I don't imagine you all want to put this off. Shall we attempt it tonight? If we get inside and things are over our head, we can flee and better prepare to do it again the next night.
Sounds good to me.
The remainder of the day passed too quickly for Sauce, who nervously tried to focus on a new sauce recipe he and McGriddle had been trying to figure out for months. He made very little progress on it, unable to focus, as thoughts about tonight's mission flooded his mind. Joining Blankspace was supposed to be an opportunity to stop crime in the city, not contribute to it. But he was starting to realize that in order to enforce the rules, you sometimes had to break them. As dusk fell over the city, he made his way to the Asgardia district, a block away from their target destination, where McGriddle was already waiting for him.
So, did you talk to your contact?
Isabella? Oh yeah, it's all worked out. She left fake plans on her desk in a cheap lockbox. This is going to be... Oh hey, Brody.
Hey guys, are we all set?
Hey, nice rope! This is gonna be perfect for lowering us down into the lobby.
Well, I didn't want you guys to think I wasn't going to contribute.
Absolutely not. This is gonna be a big help. Alright, they've been closed for about an hour now, so I'm pretty sure everyone is gone. Who's ready to scale the fence?
Let's do it.
The trio easily scales the fence and walks the narrow path to the garage's rooftop and leap onto the roof of the adjacent office.
Alright, this is the opening to the lobby.
This is a chimney.
Yeah, and we're going to slide down it. What? Are you scared of a little soot?
Rope is tied off. Let's drop in.
All right, let's go. Not to criticize your plan, Griddle, but I feel like they're going to be suspicious tomorrow morning when they notice soot prints leading from their chimney into the office.
I think I've got something for this, actually.
Oh, nice! Fresh towels!
Just make sure they end up back in my bag. We don't want to leave them behind as evidence.
Of course. Brody to the rescue once again. Now onto the office. Did you bring your lockpicking kit, Sauce?
Got it right here. Let me at that door.
Shouldn't we check for traps?
I think we should be fine.
How would you know that?
I'm sure most of the traps are outside to keep people from getting in. And we bypassed all that by taking the roof.
Seems pretty convenient that they left the roof clear.
No need to overthink it.
Got it.
See? Easy peasy.
Let's be cautious what we open. We don't want to set off any alarms.
Hey, I bet it's in that lockbox on the desk.
Wait, shouldn't we?
I can take care of that. Got it.
Nice. That was easy.
Too easy.
Do you think these are it?
I mean, these look like schematics to me. If they're not the right ones, that's on the recruiter, not us.
Sweet, let's get out of here then. Back through the chimney.
Does anyone else think this was a bit too...
Race you back up.
Something seems a bit off about this.
The next day went by with McGriddle and Sauce giving their report to Blankspace Chief, who acknowledged their clever plan and gave them permission to proceed forward with the infiltration of the Legionnaires. Meanwhile, Brody ran through everything that had happened in his head. Although with the fact that he had scoped the vehicle facility early the day of the robbery and remembered seeing McGriddle entering the front door of the office, something just wasn't adding up here. Perhaps it was worth reporting to the recruiter. Finally, the 48 hours were up, and members of both teams returned. It was obvious that Steamway Carriage's team didn't fare nearly as well as McGriddle's. Their bodies covered in horrible burns, and one member was no longer with them.
Unfortunately, Holly didn't make it.
That is quite unfortunate. Did you manage to steal the requested plans, though? Well, young Polly's sacrifice was not for nothing, as it has paved the way for your team to move on to the second trial. You have completed your first task. And what about your team?
It was no sweat.
How interesting. You've brought me plans without a scratch on you.
I guess stealth missions are a specialty.
So it would seem. I'm surprised we were able to get you before the Thieves Guild did.
Well, eternal riches doesn't mean much unless you have eternal life to spend it.
Undeniable logic, to be sure. Well, now that everyone is here, we will move on to the next task. One with a major increase in the lethality of failure. Within the Wakandale district, I'm sure many of you may be familiar with the Temple of Reverence, the worship place of the goddess Lumina. Without getting too deep into it, the leaders of our organization are planning a raid on their facility in hopes of retrieving a special artifact necessary for our endeavors. Unfortunately, the temple's guardian, Thalric Ironfist, stands in the way of that. He's a powerful dwarven warrior who creates a bit of a problem for our leaders. With him out of the way, we would be able to not only retrieve the necessary artifact, but potentially remove the church from being a thorn in our side altogether. This is an assassination mission I have designed as an ambush. Iron Fist takes a lunch break from his guard duties in the church garden precisely at noon each day. I'm sending all of you to cloak yourselves amidst the greenery there in preparation for an attack. Given the combat capabilities shown by Marlene, given the previous mission, I will be putting her in charge. Marlene, I expect you will do well to instruct and lead your team to success. Great expectation is being placed on you for this, which can mean either great reward or great punishment based on the results. I trust you will do everything in your power to ensure this mission is a success?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I will leave you to plan then.
Dude, an assassination? This isn't something we can pull off. What the heck are we going to do?
I know. This is a tricky one. Maybe we can talk to the chief and see what he can offer.
All right, everyone. For this mission, we're going to need perfect precision. I'm going to teach you all a series of nonverbal cues I'll be using during this mission that will ensure we all move in tandem. Firstly, if a motion like this, it means attack. Obviously, this one is pretty important since it represents the goal of this mission. If I do this, it means hold or don't attack.
After the meeting with Marlene ended, the two secret agents head back to Blankspace office in hopes that their leader, simply referred to as the Chief, might have a solution for their predicament.
An assassination, you say? Well, I suppose it was only a matter of time before something like this came up. We don't have a lot of time to prepare, but I might have a solution.
Do tell, Chief.
I used to have a thing for this illusion professor over at the College of Wizardry, Rebecca Vanbridge.
Whoa, dating stories from the chief?
All right, simmer down. It was short-lived.
What happened?
Well, that's actually what I'm getting to if you give me 5 seconds.
Sorry.
Anyways, long story short, I had this big date planned for the two of us. And when I met up with her, she was acting strange. Couldn't remember past conversations, distant compared to previous dates. Just generally off, right? Well, afterwards, I trail her back to the college, and there's 2 of her. Turns out I went on a date with a simulacrum of the original Rebecca.
What?
Simulacrum. Basically an illusory clone. Looks the same, for the most part, acts the same. All that stuff. But with certain limitations. Turns out she had a ritual she didn't want to miss that night, but also wanted to make our date. So this was her solution. Good intentions, but obviously things didn't work out.
Interesting. I think I'm piecing together what you're getting at. We make a simulacrum of Iron Fist, kill it, and go home completing the mission.
Only downside is that they'll obviously know that we didn't get the real one when the leaders of the Legionnaires do their raid.
I imagine they'll be too distracted by their losses after we sneak some agents into the temple in preparation for that raid. In fact, this might be the end of your secret mission, assuming all goes well. We might just take this organization down the old-fashioned way.
Sounds great to me.
Nice plan as always, Chief.
Guess that, leaves me to go have a chat with my ex. Oh boy.
Oh, you, Chief.
You got this, Chief. We'll head out and prepare for tomorrow.
The 2 agents slept soundly that night, knowing that they no longer had to end an innocent life in order to further their goals. The next day went fairly smooth. They joined up with a gang of recruits and hid amidst the bushes and flower patches, awaiting their target. Unbeknownst to the two, a simulacrum still retains a significant amount of the original version's power, and Iron Fist was certainly a powerful adversary. As Marlene initiated the attack, they found themselves locked into an intense and incredible battle. Sauce and McGriddle tried to remain on the defensive, a detail Brody took careful note of. Over the course of the battle, 2 of the recruits were severely wounded and would inevitably be left behind and captured by the local guard. The remaining 4 recruits, Marlene, McGriddle, Sauce, and Brody, were the only ones to make it out and return to the secret recruitment base of the Legionnaires.
So, a successful mission that's narrowed our potential recruits down to only 4. Quite interesting. Nearly perfect, in fact, as we have only 2 openings. Silence! Obviously, you've all seen enough of our operation that even if you aren't offered a position within our organization, you won't be permitted to leave. If you catch my meaning. Yes, recruit Brody?
Mistress, I have reason to believe that McGriddle and Sauce are double agents.
This is a bold claim. What proof do you have that this is true?
During our first task, I witnessed McGriddle leaving the Noble Metal Steed's head office building. The infiltration was incredibly easy. Too easy. I believe he set things up and the plans you were given were fakes, thus leading me to my initial concern that McGriddle was working against us. During our second task yesterday, both of them were on the defensive. Not only did this slow down the mission, but it also cost us 2 recruits in the process. Recruits that actually care about the goals of the Legionnaires.
And how do you know that McGriddle wasn't just scoping out the Noble Metal Steed's facility prior to the mission? And how do you know that the 2 weren't strategically letting others fall while weakening the adversary Iron Fist?
Well,
wanting to rat our opposition to our organization can be considered commendable. It has to be backed up with evidence, preferably physical evidence. With that being said, this makes our third task that much more interesting, as it presents a unique opportunity to ensure this double-crossing isn't an issue. We have to cull 2 of you. The remaining 2 will be the stronger, more clever, and therefore more worthy of joining up with the Legionnaires. You've all proven yourselves as the cream of the crop, so deciding which of you will move forward is a challenge. So I will use a simple tactic, a battle to the death. Please, all of you, follow me. Each of you will fight your assigned opponent one-on-one until your adversary ceases to be alive. Now, if I was a truly blackened soul, I would pit the accuser against the accused, but I prefer to work with a darkened sense of clever intelligence over a simple lust for vileness. So instead, Marlene and Brody will be pitted against each other, while Sauce and McGriddle will be on the opposite opposition. You are free to use whatever weapons along the walls, but must stay within the boundaries of your half of the hall. You are free to begin immediately.
What's your bright idea to get out of this one?
Just hold tight and I'll think of something. We'll just spar in the meantime.
It would seem we have our first victor and newest member of the Legionnaires, Brody. Congratulations. May you achieve total replacement.
Our 2 remaining fighters, Sauce and McGriddle, continued their sparring for nearly an hour. The 2 perfectly matching each slash and parry with the same, as if locked in an intricate and well-trained dance. As time slowly itched on, the recruiter became impatient.
She's starting to look kind of pissed. We need a plan.
I'm still working on it. Every angle either blows our cover or gets us both killed.
If we blow our cover, there's a high chance they'll know something was off about fighting against Iron Fist. And the Chief's ambush at the temple will fail.
You don't think I know that?
Okay, let's go through this. We could escape.
Blows our cover.
Fake it out?
They're not stupid. They'll see right through that.
Fight them?
Assuming we win that fight, we'd be blowing our cover.
Crap, I can't think of anything else.
Great. Now you're on my level.
I grow weary of this. Brody, they're obviously too evenly matched. Why don't you weigh the scales a little?
Yes, ma'am.
Wait, what? McGriddle!
Well, I guess that narrows down the options.
What are you talking about?
The only option left. The only one that makes sure the mission doesn't fail. One of us has to take the fall.
No, that can't be all that's left.
Whether it is or not, that's the hand we've been dealt, buddy.
Look, it's just a light one. You'll recover from this.
I could, sure. But you're going to make sure I don't.
What?
You and I both know they're not going to accept this fight as over until one of us is dead. I drew the short straw, so it's up to you to finish the job and make sure the mission succeeds.
What are you talking about?
Here, let me make it easy for you.
McGriddle reaches up his hand and places the dagger into Sauce's feathered claws. He guides him to turn the blade downwards, aiming into McGriddle's chest.
There. Now all you have to do is push. Make sure you do it quickly. You'd be a real jerk if you made me suffer.
Are you nuts? I'm not gonna do this.
You make me do everything. Check up on my dad every once in a while, would you?
Well, it looks like we have a winner here. I doubt a double-crosser would risk losing his ally. Congratulations, Recruit Sauce. You're officially a member of the Legionnaires. I have made the necessary arrangements for your housing, which will be here in the recruitment facility until you've graduated to an elite member, at which point you will be moved to our primary facility. I will see both of you tomorrow morning. Oh, be sure to have these messes cleaned up before then, or there will be consequences.
As I'm sure you can imagine, Sauce didn't get any sleep that night. The sensation of the knife plunging into his friend's chest encompassed his hand like an itching glove, constantly haunting him with discomfort. The next morning came and went with manual chore duties and training on automaton repair. They were essentially working towards building their own mechanical bodies, which would someday replace their flesh and blood. At least that's what the Legionnaires claimed. That night, the recruiter, who revealed herself as Octavia Hawthorne, right hand of the Legionnaires' prime leader, Cornelia Maxwell, and other leading members of the Legionnaires, went on their raid to the Temple of Reverence. As planned, they were unsuspecting of not only Iron Fist still being alive and ready for battle, but also a secondary force of Blankspace agents. Sauce found a letter from the chief in his room the next morning summoning him to his office. Octavia never showed up for morning training, so Sauce was able to easily slip out of the facility unnoticed.
Yes, Chief.
Sauce, glad to see you. I have some great news and some slightly less great news. Where's McGriddle?
He didn't make it.
Well, I can see that. Where is he that's so important?
No, Chief, he's dead.
I'm so sorry, Sauce. I didn't know.
He did it to retain our cover, to make sure the surprise attack would work. So please tell me that it was a success and the sacrifice wasn't for nothing.
Sauce. Truly, I'm so sorry. McGriddle was an excellent agent. His contributions to Blankspace have been instrumental to our success. He will be missed.
Yeah, he will be.
The defense of the temple was, for all intents and purposes, a success. We were able to stop them from procuring the artifact they were after. We kept the staff of the temple alive, and we didn't lose any agents in the process.
Except McGriddle.
Right, except McGriddle. The only downside is that they had this vehicle. It was massive and heavily armored. When they saw our force was too strong for them to overcome, they fled the scene. We were able to take down several of their members, though, and severely wounded their primary leaders. There was this one. We identified him as Adrian Ironsides. He was their main bodyguard. He used to be a local guard. We practically blew him to bits. I can't imagine he's still alive at this point, even though they hauled him away.
Understood. So the threat still exists?
Yes, but I can't imagine they're going to be making any big moves anytime soon.
I'll be heading back to their recruitment facility now.
Well, hold tight there, Sauce. Without McGriddle, I don't want to send you in there without backup. We took care of the Legionnaires, at least for the time being. They're gonna suspect something is going on inside their ranks. I think it's best you lay low for a while.
But
No buts! We've already lost one good agent. I don't need to lose another. Take some time off. You need to process the loss of your partner. I'll get a hold of you once things have smoothed over. We can discuss our next move then. Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Good. Maybe start up that sauce stand in the Mediumville district. We can always use more eyes and ears there. It's far enough from the reach of the Legionnaires, but still keeps you in the Blankspace work. Plus, I know you've been trying to perfect that sauce recipe you and McGriddle have been working on.
Is that an order, sir?
Yes, that's an order.
As this dream, a reminder of your past, fades to white, you awaken in your room. You look around at the allies that you'd made only a couple weeks ago, that you've grown quite close to. These strange aliens that, although sometimes they've been a bit frustrating to deal with, have showcased elements of your old friend McGriddle. Hito's strength and battle capacity, Maki's inquisitive and clever mind, Dez's stealth and cunning, and Rorik's lack of fear and charismatic nature. All of them, although certainly criminals, have shown a willingness to fight for an end goal you all now share. Stop whatever scourge is plaguing the city and escape to a better place. These thoughts bring you comfort as you lay your feathery head back down against the equally feathery pillows, and you notice something. That sensation that's haunted your hand for years, that feeling of plunging the dagger into your friend's heart, begins to lift. You come to realize that it's not a ghost of McGriddle that's haunted you with this sensation all these years, but your own feelings that have chained it to you. But now, those chains are unlocking and giving way for an opportunity to make things right in the world again. Thank you so much for listening to Criminals of Isla Numus, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast set in a homebrew world created by me, Skylar Gorset. If you've been enjoying our show so far, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever it is that you're streaming from, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else that podcasts can be streamed. Or just check us out on our website, sessionzeroheroes.com. Additionally, if you enjoy Coin, you might enjoy some of Session Zero Heroes' other shows, such as our Benders and Brews and Avatar Legends Actual Play, where we jump into the world of Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra using the Avatar Legends system created by Magpie Games. Or one of our various one-shots, which we are currently coming out with, where we use a variety of games and TTRPG systems to tell a variety of fun, exciting, emotional, and hilarious stories within our group. We have all sorts of other content that we highly recommend checking out within the SZH channel, and more to come in the future. To find out more about what we do at Session Zero Heroes and to keep up with a lot of the other content we produce and be made aware of future projects, shows, and content, be sure to follow us on social media on Facebook, X, Instagram, and Discord. These are all great ways to get in contact with our team, as well as to keep up to date with everything that we're creating and working on. We'd love to see you there. In the meantime, thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to stay curious, stay heroic, until we roll again.